Midnight Mansion Chimps. That's it. That's the video. To be a little bit more specific though, we're going to beat Midnight Mansion with super glue as, well, the strategy revolving it all around. Because it's one of many towers in the 41 update that got a buff. And here are all the changes that I'll show on screen right now. 90% of the buff is mostly in the price decrease. As you can see, $4,000 cheaper in, well, medium game mode. So that's a massive difference. As for the other changes aside from the price, well, they shifted around a lot of the DOT, or rather the damage on the super glue. Not that it really matters much because super glue isn't really meant for damage, but as you can see, less overall damage, but higher damage over time. On top of extra pierce per glue splat. Or rather, the splat that triggers the stun, not to be confused with the main splat. Also, I brought Soda, so that could still around 6 and 7, but apparently, does that not work on this map? Let's try Strong instead then. And does that make a difference? Nope, still leaks that one red there. How about this placement? Okay, I guess somehow putting her more to the left just changes when she attacks stuff. And that'll do. If we're gonna just swap a couple more balloons to make a little bit more money, I'm going to drop a Druid next to Sada. Because when you're trying to showcase, or at least going for super glue, you're obviously not going to have that as your only tower, strong tower. Super glue is still support, similar to Icicle Impale. You want to pair it with stuff that does massive amounts of damage so that super glue stalls, and your tier 5 tower goes hard. And I would personally say Spear of the Forest is good on this map, and good with super glue. The more you stall stuff, the more damage the vines will do on the track. Win-win. Not to mention on paper, it sounds like we have with this Sada start, we have an easy early game. Once you get the Jungle Druid, we are good for a very long time. Okay, let me just see though. I leak 1 blue on 14. I get level 4 very soon. Maybe I want to buy that for... Okay, no, I got it. That's good. Because if I didn't get that, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to beat 15 the way it is. But that's okay. I actually didn't, but that's also okay, because I can use another Living Sword, and that was an easy early game, wasn't it? Another great synergy with Super Glue because we're running Sada is that Sada will benefit from the stunning of the Super Glue and the slow. If you didn't hear about the rework she got a long time ago, she benefits better, or she gets a lot of damage buffs if you have a crowd control effect on a balloon. Otherwise, if you have nothing, then she's pretty weak. Now, if you allow me, I'd like to try to understand exactly the other changes to the Super Glue that was mentioned earlier, aka the shifting of the DOT. If we take a look at what Ninja Kiwi's their rationale is for the change, they say they want more of the damage coming from the DOT rather than the initial impact, which makes it easier to self-trigger glue explosions. Which I guess in a way kind of makes sense because technically the 50 damage of the Super Glue was on mob damage. Now the DOT damage applies to everything, which means Super Glue can actually, like, even without the corrosive crosspath, it can actually pop ceramics on its own. Again, not that you would, because you would still want to go for another tower, which is part I am not 100% sure about this rework. Why would we need to self-trigger the glue explosions when that's not really the point of the Super Glue? That's just my take. Anyways, again, super easy early game. Jungler's Bounty, Sada. I would probably go for the tier 5 first, Spear of the Forest, before going for Super Glue. It only makes sense. I wonder how minimal my defense can be leading up to Spear of the Forest. Let's just see for round 40 if I have enough Mob D. Probably not, eh? Yeah, missing just a little bit. Now, I know it's a bit early to go for the Mob Glue already, but I mean, why not? Why not if we have the money? We'll see if the slow makes enough of a difference here. Sada doesn't get... Oh, does she? No, she doesn't get extra damage from slowing. Only from stunning. So sadly, this'll pop... We need to pop the layer so that the, you know, Leaping Sword can actually beat all the insides here. My guess is probably just an alch buff. And now this will be an easy win for round 40, right? There we go. And yeah, I'll just use it to be sure in case the vine didn't come out in time. Still super sketch though, so I'll probably still need to get extra mobs before getting Spirit. I've already technically died a few times during this run, and I've already technically blackboarded this map. But still from this point on, I guess I'd like to try to beat this Chimps map without having to restart all too much. Even to this day, I know some people are confused about continues in Chimps now, quote-unquote, because of the retry last round button. But this is a friendly reminder that, once again, continues and retry last rounds are not the same. This is continue, and this is a retry last round. See the difference? I only bring this up now, though, because I do agree with the fact that black bordering just does not feel the same as if you have to retry this many times to eventually beat the game mode. The satisfaction, or even the environment, the feeling of beating a map without retrying any single round is much different than, you know, just painstakingly going through every single round, maybe having to retry them multiple times during certain rounds too. Having to restart it just makes it very clunky and not as great as an accomplishment unless, say, the challenge is incredibly difficult. Say the first ouch or first muddy puddles completion, for example. And I'm gonna probably do the same thing again, aren't I? Well, almost, if we just beat that blue balloon. I'll give into just one more blue though, because right now that's currently all we need to actually pop the layer. And thus not need to use Sword Charge here. Who knows, maybe this can somehow, just with the mob glue, save up for the Spirit of the Forest. I probably gotta get cameras this round. I'm doing the same thing again, having to retry a lot. Yes, definitely not as fun or satisfying doing it this way. Anyways, can we snipe this blue with a vine? Thank you very much. Now we have things leaking from two sides. Let me just see if I can still hold off using a sod ability. That's the cool thing with the Jungle's Bounty Vines. As long as they land over the top horizontal lane, it kind of gets... It acts as, you know, damage for both lanes at once, which is very cool. Thank you very much, Jungle's Bounty change. If I don't spend anything else, I could probably get this before this big, bad, scary 63 wave comes in. I think outbuffing is definitely carrying us hard, though. It boosts the power of this Jungle's Bounty by at least 50%. Another round where it's getting close. I'll get level 10 soon, so I have multiple abilities to get out of sticky situations. Speaking of sticky situations, this round here, I think I'll just use my double sword charge. Yes, reminder, we get 2 sawdust this map. You love to see it. Let's just see, though, if using it means I'm dead this round, or do I have to use a leaping sword? Nope, still catching it. Bounty OP. I'm unfortunately not going to get this next round. Sad. I don't want to have too many cooldowns going into next round, so let me just see if it's possible to get out of this. I don't think that's going to pop the B on the right side. What if I sword charge? Still not enough. Alright, I have a cheap option for extra power. Why don't we just stim Sada? Yes, stimulating Sada in BT6, guys, I must clarify. This should make a huge difference, though. Yep, that allows me to not have to use my sword charge. And... come on, Jungle's Bounty. 3rd time's the charm. Leaping sword on top of both at the same time. And this ought to do perfect. Now, I don't have the leaping sword for wave 1. Let me just see, though. I'm pretty sure outbuffing Jungle's Bounty goes a long way. I feel we're also at the point now that, why are we even worried about this round? This round used to be hard. It's not hard anymore, though. I first tried it so many times recently that I feel nothing. No pride or accomplishment from beating it. I also probably shouldn't have used Sword Charge last round, because now I don't have for the 3 BFBs here, which I probably could use. Not gonna lie. Yeah, here's another death. Instant regret, okay. Leaping sword on 2 F Moabs. Please, Jungle's Bounty, spawn. Not enough. It might be a little bit early, but sure. We'll do Relentless Glue. Maybe the stunning can actually do something this early on, and it probably does. Yep. Without even cross-pathing it, beats things much easier. Nice. We could even buy Super Glue now. You know what? I'm very tempted due to this low cost. I don't think it's a problem if we do it now, right? Because we already have good pop power. I think for the funsies, yes. But first off, let's do this for a free tier 1. I would say you still want to go for the 025 crosspath. Because with a 205, all you get is faster DOT by like 10%. Which in my IMO is not really worth it. Also, can you see right now, like how the DOT on Bloons is, or at least the stunning action? I'm seeing just... all I see is a lot of splats, which is kind of what we want, especially once we get one more level with Sada. Level 11, guys. Extra damage to immobilize Bloons. We love synergy, so in theory, the extra Pierce we're getting on the splatting should help immensely for, well, any dense rounds that we might have issues with. Also, can I explain what's going on here? Why are the Bloons just frozen in place? I don't understand. Just detouring to Sandbox real quick to show you that, as you see there, the Super Glue, DOT, and now one-shots even ceramics. So I'm not sure how I can explain Bloons just simply being stuck there and not being damaged. I guess that might be the splat on Pop that also glues Bloons. That's definitely what's going on there, right? For some reason, I might have been confused and thought that it only stunned. But no, it does just stun. Look at that chain reaction. The chain reaction going on with the Jungler's Bounty spawning vines right underneath stun Bloons is, needless to say, very, very satisfying. Maybe I stand corrected then. Super Glue is still viable to go as your first tier 5. At least so far, it seems. I wonder how long we can push it. I see a bunch of cerams leaking there, but once again, Jungler's Bounty is catching it. Spirit of the Forest is going to be afforded very soon, which means we're clearly going to have a lot of money to spare. I don't know what else I want to get after this, because frankly, I think this combo can survive a very, very long time. For that, we will see then. But of course, to limit the amount of retries, I'll obviously plop some down if I see anything get close at all. So far, so good. I think if anything, we should definitely compare the Super Glue right now to Impale, because that will always and forever be its sister upgrade. Both are approximately the same price, Super Glue being obviously much cheaper now. But they do the same thing. Or at least they should. Their purpose is kind of the same thing, stalling. And if I remember correctly, the reason why Super Glue was worse than Ice Impale before is that it just leaked too much stuff. It got Pierce capped. So in that case, maybe something I'll buy is just Expertise. Gets us extra Pierce, extra range as well, and a Ballista if you want to keep the same amount of towers on field. Keep it as a clean 5 TC run, if you will. If anything, we should try to change targetings on the glue frequently so that it just keeps on gluing different targets every time. Just so they get the damage time, and then they can possibly get the stun effect right now. Like, on Strong so far, it's getting as much as possible. 40 plus K saved up, and still not really worried. Still not buying any upgrade, because I think I can get away with it. DCs we have to make sure we stun, otherwise we're super dead if they get past this corner. And it's for that reason that I feel like maybe it's not the amount of Pierce that's the issue. No, it probably still is. But also the attack speed, because it's only like 1 per second. Maybe a DT might slip on by between that time. I am loving this synergy though. My god. That stun they add to the Relentless Glue many updates ago is just insane. One of the crazier buffs I've seen in my lifetime. So watching very carefully here. If we leak any DDT, I will be a little bit sad. And I'll also just keep my finger over the 2 key. 2 key for the sword chart, of course. I think it's good, though. There's enough stuns that, even with the slow, quote-unquote, attack speed of the Super Glue, it's all good. 56k now. Super Glue does not stun the balloon completely, at least ZMGs. It moves at like 5-10% speed, 10%. So allow me to try this again. I will, this time, use Leaving Sword on the mobs there. And that's much better. And now for 98, let's see how the Pierce cap issue is going. Switch between Strong and First. Or ideally, we try to beat this right lane, since that's where all the balloons are. I'll use a Leaping Sword here, because I think it'll be up for a 99. And it is going hard, man. I could even spend 500 for level 18 if I need power for cheap. I don't think I really need to use words to explain that we just soloed 98. Or beat 98 first try. Sometimes I misspeak and I say solo, even though we have multiple towers. I'll try to correct that. 99 is also a first try, and that's crazy. I can do anything I want this round to win. We'll try something a little different, I guess. How about, I don't know, Mobile Limb? Mobile Limb sucks, though, so I actually don't think this works. Actually, it might. Wait. If I stun it, stun the ZMG, and save Sword Charge, I suppose. Like now. And there it is. Easy. It's not like Midnight Mansion is a fake advanced map either. It's like, I'd say right in the middle, or perfectly fair for its difficulty, if not maybe even on the hard side of advanced maps. It's hard to say without a comparison on the same map last update how much difference it made, but given the amount of stuns I saw in the 90s, I'd say, yes, it helped. Enough said. Just for funsies, I'm seeing how the stun holds up on 102. And as you see, with this many space DDTs, it's kind of leaky. Had to use a couple to survive here. We are all right. Maybe we can even test just real quick the past free play rounds, past round 100. Because there's more balloons there, so we should definitely see the impact of the extra Pierce. Like on 103, for example. Friggin', I'm just buying expertise for the extra Pierce. I think we absolutely need it for rounds like these. Sheesh. How about a double Sawdust Sword Charge, too, for some extra damage? What can I say, though? Very fun strategy. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for something to goof around with in this game. If you're bored of the current towers. Now we have triple Sawdust Sword Charge, which should allow us to be at 106 here. And just to increase the ridiculousness of this strategy even more, I've added Absolute Zero for even more chokehold damage around this bend here. Now anything that's not a bad should, like, absolutely not be a problem. Yes, that was an unintentional pun. So, I'm showing it again for round 111 here with all these ZMGs. So many of them, yet nothing gets past. Because the power of glue and ice. Can we get a pog for this epic strategy? I also just realized that you can't even fit a Spike Factory on anywhere except the desk on this map. So I had to force myself to put carpet over here. My job here is done once we beat 119 though, so let's see if we have enough. 3 BADs though, I'm actually not quite sure, because that one's leaking already. No, I think we're dead actually. Maybe I can clutch up though? If I can one-shot the ZMGs? Nah. Actually, hang on. I have this. Soda. 3 sodas. Nah. Okay, how about this time around? Freeze. Use this to one-shot. Now we only have 1 ZMG left. And let's just stall for the ability again. And there it is. Chimps plus on Midnight Mansion, ladies and gents.